Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today our bell work is page 324, and our math assignment is going to be chapter 4, lesson 8. Later on we will be doing that. So let's first go over the answers to our bell work located on page 324. That red pen is almost out of ink. It says you have 60 CD cases, which none of you own anymore because those are dated, that you would like to store on the shelf shown. Okay, there's a shelf. If each CD case is 3/8 of an inch wide, is there enough room on the shelf for the CD cases? Explain your reasoning. Well, that's 24 inches, and we're going to divide 24 inches by 3/8, okay? And let's see if there's going to be enough room. So what do? You write 24 as a fraction, 24 over 1. Change the division sign to multiplication. And what's the R word that we do to 3/8? Yes. We take the reciprocal of 3/8, which is 8/3. Now, I am going to simplify before I multiply because I don't want to multiply 8 times 24, and I can simplify. 3 divides 3, and 3 will divide 24. 3 will go into 3 once, and 3 will divide 24 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Now, 8 times 8 is 64 over 1, and the answer is 64 cases will fit. So if you have 60 cases, can they fit on there? Is it yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, because you can even get more than 60. You can get 64. Yes. Now let's do number 28. Which of the following numbers that when divided by 1/2 gives a result less than a half? Well, 3/8, when you divide by a half, that's the same thing as multiplying by 2, right? So, we want, where the answer, 3/8 times 2 over 1, that equals 3/4. Is that greater?
Yeah.
Give a result, oh, less than a half. So that's bigger than a half. 3/4, that won't work. 3/16 times 2 over 1. 2 divides 2. 3/8. Is 3/8 less than a half? Yes, because 4/8 is a half. Let's see which other ones, if there's some more. 6 over 25 times 2 over 1. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 25ths. Yep. That one's because 12 over 24 is a half, so 12 over 25 would be less than a half. And 1/3 times 2 over 1 equals 2/3. That's bigger than a half, isn't it? Okay, so you should have the middle two checked. The greatest common factor for each pair of numbers. Factor means the largest number that will divide both of them. Factors divide both numbers. What's the largest number that can divide both numbers? Well, can 4 divide 4? Yes. Can 4 divide 8? Yes. The greatest common factor is 4. Now, it can never, for factors, it can never be larger than your smallest of the numbers you're looking at. So I always look at 3 is the smallest. Will 3 divide 3? Yes. Will 3 divide 6? Yes. 3 is the greatest common factor. 8. Will 8 divide 8? Yes. Will 8 divide 12? No. So we have to go, what's smaller than an 8 that will divide them both? 4. Will 4 divide 8? Yes. Will 4 divide 12? Yes. Now, another way of doing it is you can list your factors. What are the factors of 12 and what are the factors of 8? 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. How do you get an 8? 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. What's the largest number they both have? All right, that's another way to do it, which is probably a good, safe way to do it. 8 and 6. Well, 6 won't divide 8, so I'm going to list my factors. Okay, what are my factors of 8? 1 times 8, 2 times 4. What are my factors of 6? What's the largest factor they both have in them? 2. Remember, factors are numbers that will divide into the problem. Okay, the next problem, 12, 6, and 16. Well, I'm going to list my factors of 12 and my factors of 16. 1 times 12, 2 times 6. Will 6 divide 16? No. 3 times 4. Will 4 divide 16? Yeah, it's going to be 4. And just to prove it, 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4. And the greatest one is 4. 9 and 15. Will 9 divide 15? No, so let's see which factors of 9 will divide it. Will 3 divide 15? Yeah, it's going to be 3, isn't it? 1 times 15, 3 times 5. They both have a 3. Any questions? Number 35. In the set, let me get this so we can see it there. It's a little crooked there. The set department has a 5-foot board. They cut 2 segments that are 1.5 foot each. How much of the board is left? So you have 5 feet minus 2 of the 1 1/2. So what's 1 1/2 times 2, or 1.5 plus 1.5? It's 3, that's right. So you have 3 halves times 2 over 1, you get a 3. So that equals 3 feet. And how long is the board to begin with? 5. So how much of the board is left? Right, 2. 5 minus 3 equals 2 feet. Kids, that's an I-Learn question. Is that hard? No. You could do that problem. Okay? Sometimes it might be easier to take 1.5 plus 1.5. All right, let's go on to number 36. What is the area of the dog pen? Well, that's pretty easy. 4 times 8 equals 32 feet squared. Any questions on that? Okay. Now, all right, now we are on page 325, chapter 4, lesson 8, dividing or divide mixed numbers. Here we have an extreme geography question. It says, the deepest point in Earth's oceans is the Mariana Trench. Mariana Trench? Mariana, okay. Which is located 6 4/5 miles beneath the ocean's surface. The average depth of Earth's oceans is 2.5 miles. By contrast, the highest elevation of Earth is Mount Everest, which is about 5.5 miles high. Number 1. Write a division expression to find how many times as deep the Mariana Trench is than the average depth of the ocean. Okay, so here you're going to take 6 4/5 and divide it by Mount Everest, or divide it by 2.5 miles, the average depth of the Earth's ocean, because it's the average depth of the Earth ocean there. Okay. Now, so we're doing this picture here. Number 2, write a division expression to find how many times as tall Mount Everest is than the average depth of the ocean. So Mount Everest, which is 5.5 miles, divided by average ocean depth, which is 2.5. Now it says, rewrite the mixed number 6 4/5 as an improper fraction. Well, you multiply, add, and put it on top. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 4 is 34, and put it on top of the denominator. Same thing here. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11, and put it on top of the denominator. Any questions on this page? All right, let's go on to page 326. Divide a mixed number by a fraction. All right, dividing mixed numbers is similar to dividing fractions. To divide mixed numbers, this is the part you have to do. I want everyone to underline this. Write mixed numbers as improper fractions. That's the big key. Change all mixed numbers to improper fractions. You multiply, add, and put it on top. Then you divide as you would with other fractions, okay? So, let's look at example 1. 1 3/4 divided by 2/5. You have to change 1 3/4 to an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So you have 7/4 divided by 2/5. Write that down over here. 7/4 divided by 2/5. Does everyone see how I got that? You have to change them. When you multiply and divide fractions, mixed numbers, you have to change them to improper fractions. Then you do the keep, change, and reciprocal or flip. And you end up with 35/8, which equals 432, and you have 3 left over. Okay? Any questions on that? They have it shown here, but it's just good to write that down. Okay, let's go on and do number 2. I am not going to fill in the boxes. I think it sometimes is a little confusing. Let's just do it this way over here. We have to change that to an improper fraction. What's the improper fraction for 3 and 3/4? 12/4. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. And then you have to add the 3. What's 12 plus 3? 15/4 divided by 4/5. Now, what's the next thing you have to do? Keep, change, and flip. There is no shortcut on this one. At first I thought there was going to be, but I forgot to flip it. So now there is no shortcut. 5 times 15 is 75. 4 times 4 is 16. How many 16s are in a 75? Let's see. 2 is going to be 32. It'll go into it 4 times. 16 times 4 is, carry a 2, 64. And 75 minus 64 is 11. 4 and 11/16. Okay? Now let's do the A, B, and C at the bottom. Okay? Write in simplest form. All right. So in letter A, the first thing we have to do is change them to an improper fraction. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is what? 19/8. Everyone write down 19/8. Now, instead of dividing, I'm going to multiply by what? 4/1. With the hand sharpener, if there's one over there. Now, I can do a shortcut. 4 divides 4 once, and 4 divides 8 twice. 19 times 1 is 19. 2 times 1 is 2. And that equals 9 and 1/2. Any questions on that? Okay, we'll quickly use that. In letter B, what's my improper fraction for 2.5? Sophie? Yeah. 5/2. I always circle my mixed numbers so I remember to change them to improper fractions. And now I'm going to flip that one. It's going to be 7/3. There is no shortcut in this problem, is there? 7 times 5 is 35. 2 times 3 is 6. And that equals, it'll go into it 5 times. That's 30. And you have 5 left over. 5 and 5, 6. Any questions? Okay. The next problem, I have to change that to an improper fraction. What's the improper fraction for 5 and 5/8? Yes. 45 over 8. So you're going to have 45 over 8 times, flip that, 4/3. Now, good. We have a shortcut here, don't we? 4 divides 4 once, and 4 divides 8 twice. And kids, I know 3 divides 45, and 3 divides 3. 3 will go into 3 once. Have I taught you the shortcut on 3's? If you add the numbers together, you get 9. Does 3 divide 9? Yeah, 3 would divide that number. It works. It really does. So 3 goes into 45 15 times. 15 times 1 is 15. 2 times 1 is 2. Now, what will 15 over 2 equal as a mixed number? 7 and 1/2. 7 1/2. Any questions on your answers? Okay, let's go on to divide by a mixed number. To divide by a mixed number, or to divide a mixed number by another mixed number, change both numbers to improper fractions. Remember to simplify before you multiply, and then you just divide. So here, let's just do our work over to the side. All right, both of these have to be changed to improper fractions. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So I have 11/2 divided by 5/2. Do you see how I got 5/2? Now I'm going to do the keep, change, flip. 11/2 times 2/5. I am going to simplify. Kids, I know sometimes you don't like simplifying, but if you see the same number on top and on bottom, always change those to ones. That's so easy. You get 11 over 5, and that equals what as a mixed number? 2. How many's left over? 1. 2 and 1/5. Any questions? Okay, let's do the next problem. We're not going to fill in the boxes. I think sometimes, as I said earlier, it makes it more confusing. What's 4 2/3 as an improper fraction? 14 over 3 divided by what's 1 3/4 as an improper fraction? 7 over 4. Now, it's division, so I keep, change, and do the reciprocal, which is a flip. Oh, 7 divides 7 and 7 divides 14, doesn't it? Yeah. Twice. 2 times 4 is 8. You get 8 over 3. 3 will go into 8 2 times. That's 6. And you have 2 left over. 2 and 2/3. Okay? And if you think about it, how many 1 3/4 or how many 2's are in a 4? It's going to be 2 and something. You can always go over and say, does this make sense? All right, let's do D, E, and F at the bottom. D, E, and F. Okay, I've already changed them to improper fractions. Multiply, add, and put it on top. Now I'm going to do the keep, change, flip. Or keep the first fraction, change it to multiplication, and do the reciprocal of what number or what fractions behind the division sign. 21 over 5 times 3 over 7. And 7 divides 7, and 7 divides 21. You end up with 9/5, which equals 1 4/5. Final answer. Does everyone agree? All right, in letter E, I have, that's a messy looking too, 8 over 1 times 2 over 5. No shortcut in that problem, is there? So 8 times 2 is 16 divided by 5. That equals 3, and there's 1 left over. Now I'm going to check. Does that make sense? How many 2.5s are in an 8? Are there about 3 of them? Yep, that's about right. Always check to make sure your answer makes sense. This one, 14/9 times 3 over 7. Oh, I can do 2 simplifyings here, can't I? 7 divides 7, and 7 will divide 14 how many times? 2. Will 3 and 9 simplify? Yes. 3 divides 3 once. Quinn, how many times will 3 go into 9? Right. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. 2/3. All right. Any questions on that? Good. Let's go on to page 328. We have a word problem about a panda. The average male giant panda weighs 1 1/5 times as much as the average adult female. If the average weight of a male giant panda is 330 pounds, how much does the average female panda weigh? Well, you take 330 and divide it by 1 1/5. Okay, they changed it to an improper fraction, and that one they gently picked it up, put a 1 under it, multiply, add, and put it on top. Then they keep, change, and reciprocal. 330 times 5/6. Simplify before you multiply, and they get 275 pounds. Okay, now I want you to do the guided practice, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do for our homework today. All right, do the guided practice. Okay, so I've changed them all to improper fractions. I multiplied, add, and put it on top. Now let's double check our answers. So you'll have 7/2 times 2 over 1. Ooh, 2 on top, 2 on bottom. They turn into 1s. 7 over 1 equals 7. 8/3 times the reciprocal. Oh, 6 and 3 have a shortcut. 3 divides 3 once. 3 divides 6 twice. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 7 is 7. That's an improper fraction. How many 7s live in a 16? 2. That's 14. And 16 minus 14 is 2. 2 and 2 7ths. Any questions? Alex, are you able to keep up? Great. I don't see you writing on this paper, just making sure. Now, this one, 20 over 3 times the reciprocal, 7/20. Oh, this is easy. The 20s turn into 1s, and you have 7/3. What's my mixed number for 7/3? Yes, 2 and 1/3. Do we have happiness on 1, 2, and 3? Do you all think these are pretty easy? Good. Remember, a quiz on division tomorrow, a test on Friday. Okay, a box of snack-sized crackers. A box of snack-sized cracker packs weigh 28.5 ounces. Each snack pack weighs 4 3/4 ounces. How many snack packs are in the box? Well, you're going to divide this by the packs. So 28 1/2 divided by 4 3/4. All right, change it to an improper fraction. This is a messy problem. 2 times 28 is 56, plus 1 is 57. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 is 19/4. All right, this is not a friendly problem, it's messy. Okay, let's do the keep, change, flip. So I keep 57 over 2 times 4 over 19. Well, I do know 2 divides 2 and 2 divides 4. Let's see, does 3 times 19 equal 57? I think it does. 19 times 3. Oh yeah, it is. So that'll be easy. 19 divides 19 once, and 19 goes into 57 3 times, and the answer is 6 over 1. Now, it did not say, it said how many snack packs are in the box. There are 6 snack packs in the box. Got it? Number 5. The soccer team has 16.5 boxes of wrapping paper left to sell. If each of the 12 players sells the same amount, how many boxes should each player sell? Well, in this one here, we're going to have 16.5 boxes and divide it between 12 players. So 16.5 divided by 12, and then we know how many boxes each person has to sell. All right, change it to improper fractions. 2 times 16 is 32, plus 1 is 33. Quinn, write that down. Divided by 12 over 1, right? Now I keep change flip. 33 over 2 times 1 over 12. There is no shortcut on this problem, is there? No. Oh, yeah, there is. 3. 3 divides 33 11 times. And 3 divides 12 how many times? 4. So we end up with 11 eighths, which equals 1 and 3 eighths. Now, it didn't say you'd have to simplify. So if you would have had the answer 11 eighths, that's okay. If you would have had 33 over 24, they would have to count that one right too, because did it say simplify? No, but it does want to know how many boxes. So just to let you know, on a test, I would count those answers correct. Okay, what are we doing for homework today? Page 329, all. All right. And let's turn the page. Page 330. Let's see. I would like for you to do number 7, where you just fill in the blanks, okay? How do you divide mixed numbers? And then page 331, do 12 to 20. All right.